How do I get paid in person? We forget about this all the time. If it's one thing I really want to push to you, is that in person is not dead. Yes, we had a pandemic, and peace and love to y'all that went through that, might have lost loved ones. I know there's people that I care about that passed away in that. We might be going full remote, WFH, work from home. We might even be playing with hybrid a little bit, depending on the company that you're with, which is cool, whatever, right? I have strong feelings about it, but we're not going to get into it here. All that said, we still long for the in person. We still long for the in person. That's why we have the Coachellas and the Super Bowls. That's why we have the keynotes where I'm flying across the country and doing it in person, even though I could have did it, wearing my wearing my slippers from this seat that I'm talking to y'all to right now. That's why we long for the networking events. That's why a month and a half ago, I paid good money to fly to Vancouver to hang out at TED. I talked about it about a month and a half ago at bringyourworth.tv. You can catch out the episodes and my report back from TED, as well as at inc.com. That still matters. I am a keynote speaker. And so when I'm traveling somewhere, not the virtual thing, I do the virtual thing for sure. Shout out to y'all that I've connected to virtually. But when I'm asked to do something in person and I travel there and I'm the keynote speaker and I got my name on a poster and people pay tickets to come see me talk for 45 minutes. I got my books in the back. It's called back of the room sales. Little lingo for you. It's called back of the room sales. I got my joints in the back of the room. How do you think they pay me for it? These books aren't free. There's a business here. Some folks have cash, but that's one thing that's happened, particularly again post-pandemic or after pandemic. So not quite post, are we? After pandemic, is that people are carrying less cash. I'm carrying less cash. I used to carry a lot of cash, not like a roll, but I used to carry cash. Now I hardly carry cash. And so you need to find ways to make sure that you can take care of people in person. The first one is to make sure that you have cash on you. Make sure that you literally have change on you. I have a lot of older relatives who worked in finance institutions, whether it was credit unions or mortgage brokers or whatever. So they put me on game on that. They're like, yeah, you're going to have this in-person event. Make sure you go to the bank or whatever, go to the credit union, whatever, and get $50 worth of change. X amount of dollars, X amount of $5 bills, and a few $10 bills. You want to be in that world, particularly, again, I'm middle age. And so folks in my age range and older, they're still going to be walking around with the cash. If you go to rural areas, which I've spoken in some rural areas, shout out to Mississippi, you got to have the cash on you. You go to places, they're cash only. They're not using Stripe or Square or whatever. They're not using that joint. I'm not even mad at them. Just it's kind of like classic. Cash is trusted more in some ways. So make sure you have change on you. Number two, make sure you have a copy or your product on you at all times. When I was at TED, 6, 7 weeks ago, I had copies of my book on me. I don't know. I don't know. The worst feeling in the world, and if you've read my books, meta moment, but if you've read my books or you've seen the previous episodes, you know this story. Me being in a situation up in San Francisco, I'll never forget it. And I was at a dinner party. And I didn't have a copy of my book on me. And I ended up talking to somebody who got along well. It's like, I want to buy your book right now. And I was like, oh, shoot, I don't have it with me. But I have a hot copy at home because I was living in San Francisco at the time. So it's like, I'll get it, have a copy at home. Why don't I text you, or emailing was more common at the time. Let me email you and then we'll go ahead and make sure it happens. They emailed them several times. They never emailed me back. That was a lost book sale. It haunts me to this day. There's opportunity there, particularly again with the in person. Do not get fooled by the online stuff. In person still matters. So, number one, if you're going to an area where you think some of that might happen, get yourself some change. So, it might be someone that has cash on them. You want to take care of them. Number two, to make sure you have your product on you. People would laugh, but they were like, damn, Damon always has his book on him. I sure do. And there's TV appearances, there's sales, there's speaking events that have happened because I happen to have my book on me. I connected with somebody. They're like, I would love to get your book. And I'm like, you got it. I might give it to them for free. Or if it's a customer, I'll go and sell it to them. And then I got a customer or I got an opportunity and they call me up. They're like, yeah, I love this book. Let's go ahead and buy multiple copies of it or let's have you speak here. There's opportunities with that. So number one, make sure you got your change. Number two, make sure you got your product. And number three, make sure you have some type of device. Luckily, we have our phones most of the time. You have some type of device that will actually allow you to make transactions. Such a key part of it. One, make sure you got the change on you. Number two, make sure you got the product. Number three, make sure you have a way to accept debit or credit cards with your phone device. That's what we're about to talk about. When it comes to the nitty gritty, you can do a lot worse than Square. Again, I just talked about Square. I can go and show y'all the Square website again, just because if you're just watching this segment, you might have missed that. So I'll give y'all some love. And pardon me if you happen to catch that earlier. There we go. And there's Square. And Square allows you to go ahead and take care of and fulfill online payments, but it also has a lot of devices. There's a new Square handheld. Oh, look at that. I don't even have this joint yet. Look at this. All pocketable, the pocketable, I can't talk today. The pocketable all in one POS. Don't worry, it's not a curse word. POS means point of sale. Point of sale. Point of sale means it's not online. That means that you see me at a keynote, you're like, I want to buy Damon's book. I'm like, bet. I grab a copy of my book. I go ahead and use my device. You go ahead and use your credit card or debit card, and then I give you the book. Or like I talked about, we do a cash sale. So they've upgraded this. This looks amazing. And then you got the Square Register, which is hardcore. You don't want to walk around with that. But if you have a brick and mortar, or if you're really set up like that, I think I used the Square Register once. And that's when, I think that was when I was entrepreneur in residence back in at the Toledo Lucas Library. It was during that era, which is quite a few years ago. If you want to learn more about that, you can go to bringyourworth.tv, listen to my keynotes for free from that. But it was during that era, and that was too much for me. The Square Terminal is great, and then Square Banking, and then there's some other opportunities here. So this, so Square is a good. I recommended Stripe in the previous part as far as getting paid online. Square is actually would have that one advantage where Stripe, as far as I know, does not have any physical products. So they're not going to necessarily help you when you're having a POS point of sale where it's in person, someone's giving you their American Express, and you're like, can you go online to this website? Like, let me punch it in. Like, I've done that before. You don't want to do that, especially when I've done book tours where you have a line of people. You're fortunate to have a line of people there. You're trying to punch in credit card numbers. You don't want to be that guy. No, you don't want to be that guy or gal, what have you. Square is awesome because you can do your online as well as a one stop shop. When it comes to Square, and let's go ahead and move that so you can see what's happening. When it comes to Square, then we have this. I forget the name of this. I've had this for so long. But if you look at it, go ahead and it's really, sorry, it's focused on my face. So hopefully you can see it. There's a little slice here, a little slice here. And you can see my initials because there was a lot of stuff going on. You can tell I've been at a lot of marketplaces. This one, it happens to slide right into my current iPhone. But they have one for and adapters for all the different phones. This plugs into your phone, and then Just happen to have a set of stamps here. I didn't want to show you all my credit card, but it slides right here, right in here. And you hear a little noise or what have you, a little ding. And suddenly it pops up on the Square app. And then you can go ahead and set up what they bought. What's nice about Square as well, and this is also with Stripe, is that both of them allow you to set up product lines. So this book, which is kind of like a best of, it's a complete Bring Your Worth collection. This is $40 currently. But a smaller book of mine, like find one of my big hits, one of my big hits, buy my big hit, like the deluxe edition of Built from Now. That one I believe is $30 currently. And so those products show up on your app within Square or within the platform at stripe.com if you end up using Stripe. A good place to start would be at squareup.com, where at least when I got one, these were actually free, or you can actually get them at your Staples, Office Max, any type of place like that. You'll see them hanging. The dynamics might have changed because they have the new products, but that's where I got mine. You can definitely get it online though. Squareup.com. If you went to there in previous times, you could actually get one of these for free, or you can buy it and they will reimburse you as soon as you do your first transaction. Definitely worth it. If it's, this is one of my, I'm kind of wearing my typical outfit with a blazer and a t-shirt. Shout out to Beehive, my newsletter provider. All the links are below. I'm wearing my Beehive shirt. And so I can go ahead and slide this right in here with my index cards. If you know the index cards, you know my index cards, breath mints, whatever else I might need. And so if I'm doing an event, I can just pull it out right there. And this thing is tiny again to give you, it's a little bit bigger than my thumb. And I do not have big hands, right? The link right here is actually to the Square Terminal. And the Square Terminal allows you to actually do the tap devices. And that's a little bit bigger. I happen to misplace mine, so it is here though. But it's about the size of, I'd say about 2 inches squared. And instead of having to slide it, if you're a credit card or debit card user within the last few years and you recently got your card updated, we've gone to the tap system that allows you to tap it. Square Terminal will allow you to tap things. And Square Terminal, there's the big terminal, but there's also a little one that again is about 2 to 3 inches square. No pun intended. That's why it's called Square. And about this thin. It's super small. It's so small. I was traveling and I misplaced it. That's how small it is. It's fantastically small. Highly recommend it. All the links are below for this. If you're going to be doing this, make sure you take care of people when you see them in person. Live Q&A that I did probably about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Run business from anywhere. I love the discussion that we had in this live show from, again, about a year or two ago, where if we're doing the hybrid, if you're like me and you got multiple businesses and I got 2 little kids, so I'm traveling this and doing this family thing over here and all that, but I still have coaching clients, but I still have consulting clients. I'm a ghostwriter, so still have ghostwriting clients. I'm still, fielding opportunities for public speaking. I'm still managing this show to get meta about it. The different tools here, as I talk about in the show, will help you manage your business even if you're on the road. This will become crucial here in North America and in most of Europe and I guess Asia. Then we're actually going into summer as we're talking live. And so my kids are about to get out of school. They get out of school here early because of the hot weather here in Vegas. So we're kind of transitioning into summer hours. So I might be by the pool. I might be over here. I might be visiting relatives with my family, like da da da. Like all these things are happening. Crucial episode if you're going to be on the road and how to handle things. And of course, it gets into when you're traveling to be able to take care of those opportunities when you're actually traveling. What if you're traveling this summer and someone really wants your service or product? How do you handle that? We talk about that all in this episode. It's a nice little follow up to what we're talking about here. So, what about y'all? How are you dealing with getting paid in person? Are you cash only? You're not doing the POS or the point of sale systems? Are you strictly doing point of sale systems and not taking any cash? Are there opportunities that you've missed because you didn't have a certain way to accept payment from someone that was right in front of you. I know how frustrating that could be. Share your stories in the comments. I already shared mine. You guys have heard that story from me multiple times. And it's like, that missed sale 13, 14 years ago still haunts me to this day. Share our stories. Yeah, and let me know if there's other ways that you're doing point of sales that I don't know about. Yeah, feel free to share your story. I'm entrepreneurial coach Damon Brown, helping you as a side hustler, solopreneur, otherwise a non-traditional entrepreneur. You're watching Bring Your Show live Wednesdays at 1:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Vegas time. You subscribe at all the major platforms for free.